So now we switch cars, so that you see another color. This is osmium gray, and you will also see another interior. We so far had this, well, rather bright interior with the brown one here and the white car. Now we have the osmium gray car with a black interior, we'll see soon. And this one is also not the hybrid, but the 320 horsepower petrol engine. So here we just got the petrol engine, but still connected with the all-wheel drive. So if you just take a look at the outside, we basically also got the inscription features here with the chrome line here as well, and we also got the same alloys. But here again, you see the door handles correspond to the exterior color. Very well done. So I want to hear your opinions also. Which color do you like best here, from white or this gray, or what else do you expect of the colors, and what are your impressions so far from the car? So and then let's get into the interior here now, because this is obviously different. If you take a look inside there, we have the black seats. They have the basic, well, the basic same structure, of course, just another color. Also the premium inscription seats, and I think with the white contour stitches here, they also look very high class, especially in the combination with the checkered structures again. Well, for me personally, I like the brighter interior more, but what about you? Would you rather pick the black one or the other one? I think it's just a matter of taste. So let's go with the T6 now. So that's really just the full petrol engine, let's call it that way. And then of course we have the same starting button, but you see we have a different shifting level, so not this high-class crystal level, which I like pretty much because it was also very easy to control, very fast also. If you go front and back again here, it's, you know, it feels a little bit more heavy, everything, a little bit more manual. The other one is really high class. But still the engine, well, it's not too loud, I must say, just from the basic run here now. And before we drive forward now, I want to show you something very special. It's the rear view camera here. So if we go to the, you see, you get it in this vertical screen now, and you see it's a very crystal clear resolution. And it's called going a little bit around already. You see it's almost now 360 view here just from the rear view already. Really amazed by this resolution. It almost looks like full HD or something like that. Also these turning lines are here, and then it's also a feature known with Mercedes or something like that. You got this 360 view here, so it's faking the view from above, and you really get a nice view. Especially here, this is kind of new because hardly any other car has this vertical screen. And this gives you an even better overview of how close you are to where, and also if you, for example, now park to the front. And of course, this really helps you very much to control this huge car. You can just control it like in, you know, RC Pro M times or something like that, from this view from above, from this bird view. I think it's the best system of this kind I've seen so far. The Mercedes system was already very good, but this one even tops it, I must say. I'm really fascinated by it. Best system ever, I would say, just now from the first sight. And it really works flawless here as well. On the other hand, I must say, because the car is so good to handle, it's not a must-buy, you know. It's a good feature, of course, if you want to have it optionally, but it's very well to control also when just standing still and parking around this car, although it's almost 5 meters long. Okay, this rear beepers, so they've had the acoustic warning, that's really necessary. But that one is of course a great optional feature then. So, and now let's get to driving forward. And I want to also pick a route. So we first stop by the navigation, intuitive system, click on goal. So now here's something, press test ride. I want to access that one. Now it is. And now, for example, I want to have Barcelona Route 1. Let's see also how fast it goes. Okay. What would you say? Was it fast or not? I think it was quite okay, was it? So, I'm not seeing where I should go now, so I zoom in. Okay. Maybe he doesn't know the map here properly, but I'll turn right now. That would be absolutely the most clever choice. We're not in the hybrid anymore, so it's not that silent, especially when just accelerating here now. And I think our cameraman has to use the seat belt. I can take the camera for a second because he also shows me that in the central display. This means cameraman has no seat belt. Okay, and then let's continue with our route. And I think how good the hybrid really is. You can only tell in the difference when just using the petrol here now. And I must say, especially here at the low speeds, I just got the normal petrol engine here, it's not too loud. You see the RPM meter here on the right side, but still the hybrid version gives you so much, well, so much less noise in the interior that it feels even more evolved. You know, the petrol engine is not bad, but still I think if you can afford it to buy the hybrid, I would maybe go for it because, you know, it's more up to date. You can reduce your consumptions. If you got maybe a basement garage where you can power it up or something like that, that would be really a great solution. But of course, it's really expensive with a hybrid if you're in a market where you don't have any governmental benefits. However, for example, maybe in China or some of the federal states in the US or in like Norway or in the Netherlands, there you got tax benefits when buying a hybrid car. That might actually pay off. In general, the usual petrol engine will mainly be delivered to China and US with the 320 horsepower. And for Germany, more the diesel will play a role, like 85%. But we'll also get to the diesel later on. Let's now focus on the petrol engine. So far it feels pretty agile. We won't be able to tell you anything, you know, very complete about the consumption because we don't have very long test routes here. But I'll see if I can just find a hint to the consumption. So far it's more about the power and how it feels. Again, we got a very good sound isolation. I hardly hear anything from the outside. I got the very comfortable seats. I can really confirm that these seats are really superb comfortable. I could ride, you know, till the end of time now. And especially this high A-pillar gives you a very spacious feeling here in the interior. That is really a remarkable thing. So now I'm also looking forward to do some stop and go, for example. And to push the throttle a little bit more. Yeah, it's definitely different. Definitely. It goes quite fast actually for such a heavy car, but you feel a huge difference to the hybrid because the hybrid has this power instantaneously. And that is really a remarkable thing. Setting the cruise control, we know the Volvo cruise controls are kind of the best on the market. One here and another click here. Then we got the cruise control set here, now for example to 105, that's a pretty easy system. But just again, I mentioned it in the first, these buttons here at the steering wheel, they are really a step backwards, I must say. Those we know from Volvo are actually better in quality, just from my impression. And the digital display, well, it's quite nice. I think I don't need really a completely digital display, but it's quite practical that I can also have the GPS view in my center view. That's quite okay, I think. And it's also good. We now also got a head-up display, which you can not really see from your perspective now. But we also showed a head-up display in the A7 video lady, RS7 video lady, for example. So in general, it's a very relaxing ride here on the motorway. Again, it's all about these comfortable seats and also about this new suspension. They really completely develop a completely new suspension, and you also feel that. Well, actually, the thing is, the best of a suspension is when you don't need to talk about it that much, because, you know, you didn't really feel it's a suspension. You just felt like, okay, it's a car, it's driving, it's comfortable, and that's it. So that was the acceleration test here of the petrol engine. I think it was quite amazing. So the power is actually there. It goes very fast, even if it sounds a little bit screamy. So not my favorite petrol engine just from the sound, but the power is actually quite good. The hybrid is of course even more powerful. As I said, it's kind of a cool drive actually with the hybrid in comparison to that usual petrol engine. So I would go for the hybrid if you get the tax benefits, and then it pays off. If not, you maybe go for the usual petrol engine, or if you live in Germany, for example, or other European countries, you might also go for the diesel, which we will also review later on. So driving it a little bit more agile now, because just about the comfort, you cannot deny it's just a superb comfort, really. I think a car can hardly be more comfortable. But then again, they worked on the suspension that it's also, you know, a little bit more agile in the corners. And I can really say, especially now here in rather faster corners, you have more contact to the road, and it's a little bit stiffer, of course, than the predecessor version. And even in comparison to the XC60. So, well, it's a large compact SUV, but you rather put it in the compact SUV class than this one here in the full-size SUV class. It's even more agile than the XC60, and that's kind of a very good thing when you're in a bigger car. So the steering is also quite direct for such a huge SUV, and so I must really say I'm amazed of these driving impressions here just from the agility side. I think they really did a very good job here, and you don't feel like in a very large shaky SUV. You really feel like in a smaller car, and where you can also drive a little bit sporty.